Well, welcome back, everybody. Good to see everyone. We've got news. Winter will be back in 2 weeks' time. We will be off next Sunday, as I will be out of town. The studio will be closed. So, but she will be back. And hopefully, in case we need her, Earthen, I'm going to let you run her for today.
All right.
Just give myself a break because you guys are my second of 3 games today. So I ran my 11-2. You're my 4-7. Then I have a 7:30 to 10:30 tonight as we bring Debtor's Gambit back after a summer hiatus, or technically a end of summer holiday season hiatus. And we're on season 2 with that one. So my brain might be just a wee bit fried. I've been doing a lot of writing, a lot of content management this week. But a lot happened in our last session. And I keep feeling like I'm saying that every time we meet up. But more importantly, it seems that with the understanding of what's going on, that there seems to be a connection with the volcano, the creature at its center, and even now we've learned of a lizard folk leader that goes by the name of Great Sawtooth, the head of the Sawtooth clan. And it seems that another person of interest, Gremmer of the Coppermakers, is kind of center point on some understanding. And there's still the unknown location of the Martinet and the once, what was his previous name? Mithras, who is now Devon. So Devon and Martinet still unresolved out there somewhere. But the team spent some time gathering their gear. Earthen managed to get his gear back, while at the same time, an interesting interlude between Spot and what he thought was the Wild Mother at first, until he realized a jungle dryad was beginning to absorb his form and turn him into permanent landscape of the jungle. Luckily, he was saved by Matrone, who not only kept him from becoming a palm tree, but guided him safely back to Matrone's tree, and took some time to kind of learn a little bit more about the island. Although Matrone seemed more frustrated than Spot, because Matrone was trying to learn more about the group as well as what they were up to. And Spot just seemed to go in circles with all the information and mostly just speaking in inquisitive tones to Matrone. And he just kind of gave up on Spot and guided him back towards the Underdwell. Meanwhile, Xanath
kind of feed him catnip.
Yeah.
And got him high as fuck. We did get him high as fuck. Xanath had an interesting commune with Helm and asked some very interesting questions and got a couple interesting answers as well. Meanwhile, Puck took a moment to focus more on the volcanic center of the island, while at the same time discovering the possible location of the Sawtooth clan tribe near the base of the volcanic mountainscape as well. And I believe, if I'm not completely wrong, a scroll of Speak with Dead, the Infernal, to conduct the ceremony of speaking with the Shadow. We finally now understand the contents of this mysterious scroll that the team had found some time ago as a creature or an entity known. No, not known as that. Or that. Where did I put you? Oh, there it is. As Zahir, the cloaked serpent, often referred to as the Shadow. And they seem to have discovered a ceremony scroll, or a ceremonial scroll, designed specifically to somehow commune with this possible betrayer god, this old ancient creature of past. And then, I believe, did we finally get in for a long rest? Did we?
No.
We still haven't got a long rest in?
Someone decided to go talk to ghost pirates.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. That's what the other asterisk is for. I'm like, I'm looking at my notes. I go, oh, shit, that's right. So, learning about an area of the island. Yes, that was pretty funny. Learning about an area of the island. What did we call it again?
It's the north end. Well, the north end of the settlement.
The north end of the underdwelled seemed to be an abandoned group of buildings and dwellings that is said to be haunted by pirates. This immediately got Spot's interest, and like a kid in a candy store, began sprinting off in that direction. Eventually, both Winter and Tally following close behind, leaving Earthen and Xanth to wonder why they're the only parents in the group.
You'd think like a giant T-Rex stomping on you would slow you down, but
no. Not possible.
I think Puck went to sleep on Punch, and Punch went after Spot. Is there any chance this counts as a short rest, please?
Yeah, I'm down with that. You guys can go ahead and calculate a short rest at this point. Yeah, that's fair.
I wish short rest gave me anything. I don't think I get anything from a short rest.
Oh my god, that's hysterical.
Yep. Because, I don't need the health. I need the spell slots.
So, all right. So I have one spell slot. So we're just like running after these guys, being like, pick a house, any house. Let's go to sleep.
You know what? While we're chasing after them.
Yeah, like right now, Spot, Puck, Winter, and the menagerie that is the zoo that Tally keeps, or that Puck keeps in her possession, is all flourishing towards the north end.
Okay.
With the two of you kind of trailing behind.
Yeah. Xanth.
Yeah.
Remember that trick we pulled on the boat to convince those guys that the merfolk were like coming closer, making all that noise and racket and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
The only way.
At the bottom of the boat.
That's about all I can do now. With some flashy illusions and if you can make some noise, I'm thinking we can fake some pirates for these guys just to satisfy them for a minute, because I'm tapped out. I got nothing left in the tank here.
Yeah, we need to get a rest immediately. I'll thaumaturgy like a little ghost sound going, "Ooh, I'm a pirate."
And I'm like minor illusioning, kind of like ethereal carbon copies of some of our crewmates from the other ship. Like, I mean, those are the ones I have for reference for what a pirate looks like, right? So I'm just kind of, or like random people that we saw up in the city, but I'm just trying to like fling them out there, and like they'll pop up and like fade away.
Okay. Spot, give me a wisdom save as you come in to the north end. As you stumble into these old dwellings that are run down and just kind of looking dilapidated and abandoned at this point.
That's a big 6.
Big 6. Yes. Off to your right, in the window of one of the dwellings, a pirate outline, like a crew pirate or some kind of visage. It like turns and kind of laughs, and then it fades. Off to the left, in another dwelling, another pirate form. It laughs and stares off, pointing, then and fades. Puck, give me a wisdom save as well.
Oh god.
I would say it's not often that we get to play against each other, but it's been a recurring theme lately.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, a 20.
Nice.
So for you, Puck, you're watching a very excited Spot, like, ooh, over there. Ooh, over there. And, like, you're looking at it with, like, a kind of, like, skeptical look. And you look over your shoulder, and you can see Earthen is doing something with his hands. And every time he, like, kind of moves his hands, an illusionary pirate will appear, and Spot's just like super excited. His eyes are wide. As far as you can tell, Spot's convinced this is real.
I go back to sleep. This seems fine.
of like roll over on your side and just burrow into what's the tiger's name again?
Punch.
Punch, that's right. I was about to say lunch, but Punch. They'll like burrow into Punch's fur and kind of like settle into your short rest.
Winter rolled a 5, by the way. So
okay. Winter stops and looks around. Guys, I don't think we want to stay over here. Look, there's like pirates everywhere. This isn't.
That's the idea. That's the idea. This is so cool. God, pirate ghost, pirate ghost, pirate ghost, pirate ghost.
So I'm gonna like try and lead them into one of the buildings, like just have like the faint shadow of a pirate, like going, like they're all congregating someplace.
Okay. Spot, you immediately see at least 8 of the pirate ghosts appear, reappear, disappear. Shit, it's almost like there's a pirate party going on in one of the houses.
Oh, I'm there.
Okay.
I will crash out like Bugs Bunny style, crash through that wall if I have to.
You're in there, and these pirates keep appearing and disappearing around you.
And I'm gonna throw like an ethereal campfire there, like right in the middle of the
This is so cool. Do I
take the hint?
You want me? There's a bonfire
here. Yeah, there's like a fire in the middle of the house.
There's like
the pirates, oddly enough, all 8 of them, for being ghostly entities, are now all rubbing their hands over the fire and just standing there. And it's worse. What's worse is the way they speak. It's like you can hear their like disembodied voices. Arr, I wish we had something to eat. And then another one that looks different sounds the same. Arr, I wish you were right. I wish we did have something to eat. And then another pirate that's like a halfling sounds like the other 2 pirates. Yarr, I wish we had something to eat. It's like, it's this kind of weird, just kind of tropey presentation.
Like you walked into the NPC section of like a really crappy game.
It's so true.
You all sound really sound kind of similar. Yeah. Okay. Pirate rogue. This is so cool. Wait a minute. You said you're taking your cues based on the crew members. Has Earthen? How good is Earthen at this? Do I recognize any of these guys? Like,
yeah, you give me a history or perception check. See if you do recognize any of them.
That is a 19.
There's a couple of them that look like crew. That look like crew from the Martinet ship.
Dave, you weren't a pirate. What are you doing? Wait a minute. Hang on now. Just turn around. Are the wheels turning in my head?
Yeah, you're like, this feels like Earthen's work.
Just turn around, just do I'm watching you gesture at Earthen. Just.
What can I say? I need a rest.
I'm not stopping you. Go on. Shoot. Leave me to my pirate.
It's not that. It's not, it's not that you're stopping us so much as if we all lay down to rest and you actually stumble across these pirates.
They can't get into your tent. It's fine.
I'm gonna kind of
Death is like
corralling
tent.
people. I'm just
When
trying
have
to
we
get
been
people
in a
like
tent?
in
The hut.
Hey, I mean, I've been trying, like, I'm trying really hard to get everybody into one spot. Like,
If I've got them like in a
assistance.
10-foot radius, I'll pop up the tiny hut.
It's like Earthen and Spot are going back and forth. Winter is just like pinching her brow, just shaking her head. Puck. Hey, you guys are the only group that put your real names in front. Fix that for me so I don't go fucking crazy. And put parentheses around your real names. Your game names are the ones I memorize. And then for some reason I keep saying Tally and it's driving me crazy. That's a me problem, not a Tally problem. Nah, it's a me problem, not your guys'. And Puck is snoring now. Like Puck is drifted off to sleep. She's in her favorite position she could be in. She's curled up in Punch's fur. She's exhausted from being brought back from the dead. And she's had a busy day.
See Spot. I want to see Spot sleep, not see Spot run. I want to see Spot sleep.
I was waiting for that. We're on the
As
end
soon as
of
it came
day.
out, I had to.
Are we on the end of day 2 since you've been here?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, you guys have done a lot.
I don't interfere with your plans. Fine. Take a cat nap. I'm just gonna
Thank you.
curl up. Curl up like. Where's Errand? Because I feel like I have to annoy him. Like.
I mean, at this point, you kind of curl up over by where Punch is kind of. You know how cats, really big cats, when they, Alexa would know this. Really big cats will sometimes lay out with their arms stretched out, and kind of like their heads on the side. Because Punch has Puck on his back, that's kind of how he's laid out right now. And so you kind of use part of his hindquarters as a pillow spot, because the two of you have kind of gotten along over the course of the time that you've been hanging out together. And you're just kind of leaning up against his hind and just kind of staring at Earth and plotting your revenge.
How close is Errand to me right now?
I mean, the space isn't all that big. So, I mean...
I'm just curious because, like, I am, I might be chaotic good, but I'm also a sociopath because I'm a cat. So I'm planning on doing.
Well, I think you're a sociopath because you're Spot.
Yeah. I'm a cat. Like I said. So I'm gonna see.
But I think if Spot was a gnome, you'd still be a sociopath.
Oh yeah, probably. But if he's within range of my tail, like every time he gets like within a hair's breadth of falling asleep, I'm gonna smack him across the face with it.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand, which is the equivalent to sleight of tail.
Yeah. That is a 31.
Yeah, it's like
31.
Like Xanath is the only one kind of lingering up still, kind of lost in thought after casting the spell. Puck is asleep. Winter kind of drifts off into a meditative condition without even realizing it. Every now and then, like Earthen does a nodder, like he's about to nod off. And just before he does, Earthen, you feel like a bug land on your nose. And you wake up and you swat at it, and then you look around, everybody's kind of still, and then you kind of start to try to drift off, and then you feel a bug on your nose again. Looking around.
I'm gonna get up real quick.
Okay.
Step outside the hut.
Okay.
Just kind of like shake my face off, like just. And then I'm gonna stealth to go back in the hut because I got my new gear.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
I can blend in with some things, and I would also like to activate my ring of fly.
Okay.
And just as I go up to the top of the hut, as far up as I can go.
So
I would be laying on air.
yeah, you're doing that Mission Impossible thing, pressed up against the interior of the invisible hut.
Sleep against the top
Tiny
of the hut.
hut. Yeah. Spot, you're not quite asleep yet. What's your passive perception?
I think like 17. That's a perception.
All right.
Yes.
Earthen, you get up and leave like normal though, right?
Yeah, I get
So
up
you
and
Spot, as you're pretending to be asleep with one eye open, you watch as Earthen gets up and then just kind of tired of swatting his nose, he leaves out the hut. Earthen, as you come back in, give me a stealth check with advantage.
Yep. That's a 1 second.
Is the audio okay,
That's,
everybody? Can you?
Yeah.
22.
It's not too loud or anything. Okay. What'd you get?
Oh no, a 20. Sorry.
20.
Yeah, dirty 20.
Okay. You managed to come back in. You notice Spot kind of pretend to be asleep and look around to see if you've come back in, and you haven't come back in yet, so he kind of settles back down into a sleep state. You float to the top of the tiny hut so that you're looking straight down. You're only about maybe 6 or 7 feet off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Vince. I appreciate that. Vince is watching us right now. And you could see straight down. Xanath is drifted off to sleep. Puck is snoring loudly in Punch's fur. Spot, you think, is probably pretending to be asleep. Winter is kind of faded into her like meditative state.
I want to like. You ever see Big Daddy? The movie Big Daddy?
It's been a while.
When he's
been a
teaching the
while.
kid how to like drip the loogie out of his mouth and suck it back up real quick. But he like sucks it back up real quick. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like drool one right down, like right in front of his face,
Okay.
and suck it up real quick and be like, "Stop it."
All right. Well, you give me performance, I guess. Give me a performance check to see how well you can pull this off.
Okay, that's a 14.
A 14. All right. Not one of your better performances, but definitely interesting.
Yeah.
And Spot, with your passive, you hear something like a dripping or kind of like watery noise gets your attention. As you sit up really quick to look around wondering what it is, you sit up so that the loogie hits you right in the forehead. Just like, unfortunately, or you're not able to pull it back up, and you hear above you, Spot, somebody telling you just stop. And you look up to see Earthen like staring down at you with a trail of drool coming out of the corner of his mouth.
Humans are weird.
Spot immediately starts pawing.
Human spit's gross. Gotta get some proper cat spit on this now.
So I'm gonna drift back down to the ground and deactivate the ring, but I'm gonna keep my stealthy-ish clothes on, even though he's seen me already, and lay down at the other side of Punch.
That's fair. I mean, it's not that big of a space to begin with.
Right.
So with that, eventually, all of you drift off into your long
Check
rest.
me out here.
And you wake up the following morning.
Oh,
Morning of day 3. Go ahead and trigger your long rest.
Oh, that felt like the longest day.
Felt like that day took 4 weeks.
Yeah, that was a month and a day.
So true. Guys wake up to the sounds of the morning jungle. You wake up to the sounds of people traversing about outside. Sounds of the underdwell coming alive. What do you guys want to do on day 3?
I'm gonna see if I can find any daytime ghosts.
I mean, we're in the underdwell, so
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know that they noticed.
generally,
much difference.
yeah. I mean, it's just generally it's darker down here, right? So, but what's better than ghosts?
Some things.
a giant volcano monster.
Lizard folk?
Full night of sleep.
So there's last time we talked about going to see the lizard folk. There's also that like tomb that we learned about that we think is deeper in the mountain.
Yep. Oh, Mannheim also might be here now.
And Mannheim might be here now.
Okay, we have a lot to do. What is like everyone's priorities right now?
I don't think we can trust Mannheim though. I don't know who we can trust anymore besides the 5 of us, and maybe Sibo and Gribble.
Trust me, that's adorable.
You're lucky you still have that tail after last night.
Yeah, I don't even know if I can trust the clerics that we talked to or the priests we talked to at the Temple of Home. I was communing with my god yesterday and asked if they could be trusted, if the Temple of Home could be trusted, and he said, "What makes you think they're any like worshippers of Helm on this island.
Oh no.
And I don't know if that means, they just worship his sister or something else.
Well, didn't you say when we first got there that you'd never seen anyone
I hadn't seen people worship the way that they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I told her yesterday that we were down here. So we might not want to stay down here forever.
Maybe we...
Yeah, you told her to use caution and be careful that there was concern.
Okay.
Well, I would like to meet the mouse folk that saved my life. I feel like I owe like an in-person thank you.
Did you have any exhaustion, Puck?
Well,
you had 3 and then you got 1 cured because you got
yeah.
Was that lesser restoration or greater?
Greater. 1 would go away because of your long rest. So I think you have 1 point left.
Oof. Okay, that's good. I wrote it down for myself. I wasn't sure. Is there some place on the sheet that I'm supposed to?
Yeah, there is.
Where would that be?
I think it's near hit points. Your hit point pool.
Hit point. Is it like a?
It should. I think it should be. Does anyone else see it? I'll check.
Give me a minute. I'm going to take a snip now. Just post it to the Discord. Give me a sec.
Trying to remember where it is.
There's inspiration.
Oh, that's interesting. You
Would
know
it be under conditions?
Yes, I think.
Oh, you're talking about the exhaustion?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it's weird. I was able.
Oh
to...
yeah, it's under conditions.
It's under conditions.
Yeah, if you're on the laptop or on your computer.
Yeah, it's on the very bottom.
Yeah, click and it's at the very bottom. And you get the different points of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I forgot that was a new ad that they did recently. They updated that recently.
Oof, okay, still 1 point of exhaustion then. I will go with the flow. Whatever you guys want to do, I'll be there.
So maybe we just stop back over at Sibo's on our way out. Let's stop back over and see Sibo before we head out, and see if Caliban came back with Mannheim. And if they're not back, we'll see what happens when we go try to meet this Sawtooth fella. He sounds real friendly.
All right.
I mean, if we're good with that. Okay, cool. Well,
Winter gets up, stretches, gets her bow out, puts it on her back. All of you kind of come out of the dwelling that you're in and leave this area of the north end back towards the center of the underdwell. Once back in the center of the underdwell, you begin to head over towards Sibo's, which is right across from the Raven. And her door is open.
Can I roll perception? Or just investigation, I guess, maybe?
Sure.
But, it seems not normal for her to just leave her door wide open.
Yeah, hard to know. I mean, you've only been here 2 days.
Well, she has a lot of valuable stuff in her hut,
Fair.
Well, not going to get a whole lot out of that, but 12, 14, that's a 14. So,
You can hear somebody inside like they're packing up in a hurry.
I mean, or you do hang out with a sneaky, thiefy person. You could always send me in to surprise people.
Oh, I can hear you out there. You're as loud as can be. You hear her voice kind of yell out of her hovel.
God, I tell him that all the time. He just says, "Ooh, it's music."
It wasn't me she heard.
Oh, it was too.
See? As a cat.
So, yep. Peeking in the door, and what's going on, Sibo?
You could tell that she's packed to travel. She's got a rather large backpack that she's filling up with supplies. And standing beside her is Caliban.
Hey, you're back.
Yes, I'm back.
Does that mean that Matt
Could not find Mannheim. Evidently,
Oh.
he's been taken by the copper makers.
Oh.
And I don't know why. I've expressed information to Sibo that I think there's something on the other side of the island that I need her to look at. We leave now.
Calvin, before you go, I have a request for you or one of the other Dan here. Can you possibly help me out? Or put me in touch with one of your friends?
All of my other companions are busy doing things for the underdwell. What do you require?
We heard tell that the lizard folk are people that favor like hunting implements, things like that. I offered up a magical spear at a shrine topside. I think this might be my goddess telling me.
I don't really dabble with the lizard folk. They're not of my choice to deal with. If you choose to deal with them, deal with your own. Sibo, we must go now.
Caliban, what did you see on the other side of the island? What are you looking at?
I don't know what it is. It's one of the reasons why I need Sibo to travel with me. I have seen many things in the century or more that I've been here. Some things I simply do not understand. For now, let's just say it's important for her to see it, not necessarily important for anyone else to understand it.
Would you like some
Sibo.
extra muscle?
Caliban looks at you. I'm not quite sure what that means, but no. I'm taking 2 of my companions and myself to watch over Sibo. The others have been sent to track down the origin and location of where that T-Rex came from, while another keeps an eye on the harbor. Other than that, all of my companions are busy. If you choose to travel on your own accord, feel free. Do not go topside.
Understood.
Good. And
Sibo.
yes, what?
I think, given recent events, it might be important. It might be good that we stay in contact some way. Do you have some kind of arcane trinket that we could stay in communication with you? Because I think I just have a feeling that whatever you're going to look at is going to be related
if I'm
to
gonna
what we're
need
doing
you,
here.
I'll send you a message. You'll know it.
I would like look at the rest of them, kind of see what they think.
Winter
The
just
thing you're
shrugs
going
her
to
shoulders.
look at, the thing you're going to look at, does it seem dangerous?
I don't know.
What
I
did
don't
you
know
see?
if it's. If I describe it to you and give you information as to what it is, if you were to come under some foul influence, it could pry it from your mind. Until I know precisely what this is, with Sibo's insight, we will then share it with you. But until then, the fewer people that are aware of it, the more secret we can keep it.
I'm gonna pull out my journal. You certainly know some script that none of us here can read. If you
What
would
do you
write,
mean?
if you've been on this island for more than 100+ years, I'm sure you must know some language that we could have in written communication. We won't read it now, but should we need to, should we get far enough along in this endeavor that
I think you give me too much credit.
I thought you were.
My people are of a kind, yes. We are what we are. We were made this way through both suffering and the context of someone who made us. We've been here since the beginning of this island, and we have watched its shadows rise and fall, with those that have claimed ownership over it as well. We've seen all manner of empire come and go in these harbors. We've watched the Gnomeworks grow up around, and I've watched the Gnomeworks cast aside its people like chattel. This is not a friendly place. This is not an altruistic place. There is no great hope here. The only thing on this island is the meat grinder of labor and the autocracy of wealth. Someday
Caliban.
I hope to change these things. But for now, I help the underdwell. I help keep their shelters safe, and I help guide those that cast off the yoke of the copper makers. That is my purpose, and that is my intent. I will not waste energy on whatever mission or reasoning that you and your friends seek.
I'm gonna kneel in front of Caliban, and
What are you doing? Get up.
Pull
We
out
don't
the
do
other-
that here.
pulling out the other book, the one with the secret compartment,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll pull it apart, take the parchment out. I'll assume you don't read Elvish, but we found this on our travels. I think at least you and I have a common goal.
Give me persuasion. Let's see if you can be bardic.
Persuasion's one of my
kind of bored.
Persuasion's one of our favorites. That was a 26.
Okay.
Ooh.
What is the intent of this message, this purpose? And she's
This
getting
is-
a little agitated.
This
Her fangs drop out of her upper teeth. Like they just, in agitation, come out. What is the purpose of this?
This clearly tells why the copper makers are mining so deep into this mountain, what roughly they're looking for. We don't have an exact item. We don't have the exact name of the item, but we do know there's the Cindercrest King down somewhere, buried within this cursed island. We know there's a dark entity, Zahir, the cloaked serpent, also somehow related to this island. I think it can be no coincidence that you and your kind were formed here, that the copper makers continue to dig here. This message was never delivered. This message was never received.
And who is this Ludendorff?
Are you familiar with the Cerberus Assembly?
I am familiar with their behavior and their relationship with the world.
Then you know what it is the Cerberus Assembly seeks.
Do I?
Magical artifacts and power from before the calamity.
You have words of myth, lore, and some subjective understanding of why they are doing what they are doing. The question is this enough to pursue them? Or are you and your friends about to seek more information as to what they truly are doing?
Just personally, the seeking information is cool and fun and stuff, but I am absolutely down with this. Like, I am a fierce devotee of Karl Manx. I am with you guys in this worker circle. This sounds great.
I've never tasted tabaxi before. You're very fucking weird. Like, you watch
Absolutely
as
not.
Caliban's eyes narrow and her small gnomish form. This one's going to get you in trouble.
Going to. What do you think he's done the whole journey. I thought I was the trouble one.
If you and yours travel to the center of this island, to the volcano, and you're able to find whatever it is this Ludendorff was seeking, and we could use this as a way to bring down the copper makers, I will partner with you on this. I have other alliances I can pull in. I have other people of interest that seek similar-minded outcomes as myself. We are not as alone as Sibo would like to think we are. And she eyes Sibo. Sibo just, oh, I know. It's the struggle, dear. It's the struggle that gets people killed. Not so much the intent.
Our goal now is to first meet with the lizard folk, with this Grand Sawtooth, the leader of the lizard folk. Because according to Gribbles, their rituals are doing something to contain something within the mountain. If our suspicions are correct, then what they're trying to contain is something related to this Zahir.
With the recent attack by that creature, I would wager that they have failed to contain something.
Or that something has breached in another way. But
or maybe they're dead.
Only one way to find out.
Well, you find out. Me and Sibo have other things to deal with for now.
I hold my arm out, like not like with a fist balled up. You know, I don't know if you do some blood ritual or some blood rite, but
oh no, thank you. I'm not hungry right now.
This is a show of trust, Caliban.
I'm sure it is. I prefer not to touch the skin of the living. It tends to distract me. And I choose not to be distracted right now. Right now, her pupils have dilated as she stares at your wrist.
So I'll slide my sleeve back down. Then we can seal this some other way.
Seal with proof. Seal it with the item that this Ludendorff sought. Seal it with information that I can use to take to our allies, rally our forces, and destroy this place once and for all, freeing these gnomes from this trivial existence, this insane industrial machine, churning out weapons of war for the purposes of annihilation of this world. I may be not of the living, but I am very fond of the living. And she just kind of walks out. Well, she's a bit dramatic. She was gone for a while. She seems very upset about not being able to find Mannheim. And she seems to have discovered something on the other side of the island. As soon as I feel it's safe to tell you what it is, I will tell you. Oh, and considering what's happened recently, here you go. I think I'll give these to Xanath. Xanath, if you wouldn't mind taking this. She hands you a small leather bag filled with 3 greater healing potions.
Ooh, awesome.
Now be careful. Traveling these jungles is not safe once you're outside of the borders of the Underdwell. Well, you're kind of on your own at that point. Keep your eyes open and your hands on your weapons.
Before we go, can I just ask you, are there any type of plants or animals that we can expect to find around the lizard people that I could use to locate them?
Oh, that's a good question. They're very fond of swamps, dear. They like the water, and they like to hunt what lingers in the swamps. They're very fond of it as their natural ecosystem. More importantly, they feast upon and use a carnivorous plant called the blood envy. This plant both attracts large mammals, and they use it as a way and a means to hunt. Perhaps this will help. And she quickly sketches out what it might look like and hands it to you.
Thank you.
No, you're very welcome, dear. Welcome back, by the way. You look much better. Not so many dark circles around your eyes. Well, good luck.
Thank
And
you
she
too.
heads out of her dwelling, out into this busy roadways and center of the dwelt.
Well, I can cast now that I've long rested, thank God. Locate animal or locate animals or plants. And that might be a little bit helpful in addition to the map.
Maybe we save that until we get to the end of the map. Like, wasn't there a dark spot, like, once we got so close?
I think there was, but I take out the map and try to concentrate on that area again.
Okay.
I'm gonna hand out one of those healing potions to each of you guys because I have a couple.
Those were graders?
Those are graders.
So with that in mind, the area of the map you can now see, Puck, you feel like you're looking at a vast underground section of volcano. And the map, as you focus on it and it's within range, there are many different points of interest. There are all manners of... What's your favorite enemy again?
My favorite enemy...
Because that would channel, I believe, through the map is how we were doing that before. Or did you have to cast the spell? Locate
I thought she
favorite
did
enemy.
that detect aberration or whatever, something like that.
Detect fiend or...
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was the spell she used to get that
Okay.
on the map.
So my favorite enemies are Fae and Beasts.
Okay.
And I also have like natural explorer skills that go for mountains and coasts.
Okay. As you focus on the map takes you deeper and down into this depth, this layer, almost as if you pass through the jungle, which is organized on the map as dense, very difficult terrain to pass through. And then you go below it with your memory of the shadow entity that you felt like you were in contact with, whether it's the harbinger, the shadow, whatever you want to call it. It's that force of understanding what you think is there. You focus on the map, and you and the map just kind of merge for a moment. Your mind and the map and your remembrance of that location. And this entire level, this labyrinth of lava tunnels, caverns, a massive monumental statue-like hand protruding up through the ground that seems to hold a great temple in the palm of the hand. There seems to be something underneath this volcano. Very specific, very integral to the landscape of this island. Almost as if you're seeing its first existence before over time it gradually became this jungle island. And then that you kind of focus out of the map. And you've got a pretty good understanding of it, but until you actually begin to see the environment itself, it's hard to know for sure. But the map can at least guide you to what you believe is an entrance on the eastern slope of the volcano, roughly at about 4,000 feet of elevation, the tallest point of one of the fractured crags.
Oh. Okay, so we definitely have our work cut out for us. Is there anything you guys want to take with us before we leave, or any other questions we have?
Should we try to check in with Matrone, see if he wants to go with. He seems to know these jungles pretty well.
Oh, sorry. That's probably not a bad idea. Where is his little treehouse in relation to where we are?
Who's Matrone's?
Yeah.
About maybe less than a mile outside of the eastern, northeastern side of the dwell.
I mean, it's not exactly going to be an arduous trek to get there. Yeah, let's talk to him real fast.
Well, I guess that's it then. Hitch my pack. And
Did we also want to get, in case it sounds like maybe we think the lizard folk could be dead, but if they aren't, do we want to bring some food and some weapons? I know we talked about that last time.
let me see what I have in my pack.
That seems like a good idea. I definitely have some food for Puck and for the tiger.
Yeah. I guess that might be a good this way. And I'm gonna head us towards the junk pile where we got the bow before.
Okay.
The
carts are all still there. There's people kind of randomly walking up, pulling tools or equipment out to go work on various projects. The place has always had a very commune kind of feel, like a commune of usage and need, as opposed to a traditional kind of fiduciary or kind of economic need. Barter is always the most popular method down here.
So I traded away those Kraken claws that we found to get this bag and Winter's bow. So I'm running out of things to barter on my side, but I don't know what you guys might carry. These guys are pretty reasonable, though.
I have raptor skin, teeth, and claws still.
I think I have a raptor spine.
I have a couple of claws and some quarter staffs and things like that.
Oh, you're back. It's good to see you.
Yeah.
What can we get you today? Oh, nice bow. Winter just kind of curtsies in their direction.
So, yeah, we're looking for things to barter with the lizard folk.
Sawtooth clan.
Yes,
I'm familiar with them. Hunting equipment is always good. If you happen to have in your possession, they tend to use weapons like these. And he picks up this very strange looking club that has alligator teeth ranging around it like a chainsaw blade. And it's heavily kind of wrapped with a leathery kind of alligator skin. In fact, I traded Sawtooth for some iron and nails and some other things, a member of his clan, for an example of their weapon. Often I make these for them.
I didn't know you made nequitails. That's cool. Those are real cool.
Well, yes. I just called them sharp tooth club things that kill. But I like your name. That sounds really cool.
Well, yeah. Not to brag, but my
Oh no, you're bragging.
No, but my clan might have been some of the first to come up with the put really pointy things in a wooden club thing, so you can cut and bludgeon at the same time. That's one of our claims to fame.
Oh, that's
he's
interesting.
lying. No way.
Well, anyways, as far as trades goods for Sawtooth, anything of a hunting nature, arrows, spears, javelins, blow darts. They are fans of using blowguns whenever possible.
I did hear the blow darts. I'm gonna turn around to Puck and Xanth for a second and say, what do you have left from the animals we've encountered on our travels?
I still have the raptor skin. I also took a bunch of just tinkering material from the gnome ship. that's, like coppers and stuff, so that might be worth something. I guess, yeah, that's most of it. Just raptor stuff and tinkering material.
Turn back around to the gnome. How long would you say it takes to craft one of those fine works of art?
2-3 days with enough supplies.
Well, I guess we don't have that time. We've got to get moving.
Question for you.
Yes.
I know you said that they tend to use hunting weapons, spears, clubs, things like that. Do they use adelados, or is it just kind of poking spears instead of throwing spears?
Adelados they would use as well. They tend to hunt faster game with those, as they can go further than their traditional spears could.
Okay, cool. All right. Do you happen to have any? Because I still have a ton of darts, so...
If you have a lot of darts, those are good trading items. Sometimes I make them for them. Sometimes they seek out supplies that allow them to be made. It just kind of depends on what they need. Although I must admit, I have not seen them in some time. Normally, I see them at least once a week on the fringes of the dwell, where I can trade with them. But I've not seen them in some 2 weeks now.
Is there any way of approaching them that would be better for us, as far as them not seeing us as an enemy?
Ah, that is a fantastic question. If you see a lizard folk that bears the mark of a series of blue tattoos from hip to shoulder, and they would be arranged as if they looked like teeth, that would be one of Sawtooth's people. There are other clans on the island that aren't nearly as friendly as his, so be mindful of that. If you see one and you begin to approach this individual, have a piece of meat in one hand and be sure that a bloody handprint is on your face. When you approach, it will appear to them that you're offering something that you've already taken a bite from, hence you're offering trust. They will see that as a good sign, and they will know that you are familiar with their people and their customs.
Honest question, not even joking. Anything you want me to do on me particularly, because I'm ginger. I don't know that a red bloody handprint is going to show up super well on my face. Any advice here?
Yes, perhaps somebody more well-suited and less verbal should approach.
Use me out. I'm just going to look at...
Winter
Jan.
just kind of giggles underneath her hand and shakes her head.
No.
This is so cool.
Oh, she's all for it. Yeah, sure.
As Spot begins to toddler tantrum.
I think you got yourself into that one, buddy. What can we trade for those blow darts?
Are you planning on visiting Sawtooth?
Yes.
I tell you what I'll do. I'll give you these bag of blow darts and 3 blowguns, just to find out if they're okay. I do a better trade from what he hunts than what most people could offer me in trade for these items. Take these items, find what's happened to them, and trade with them. If they have anything like hides, skulls, meats, or other things, or furs, I'll be glad to take those in recompense for this early barter. Okay. So you guys now have a small bag of 50 darts and 3 blowguns.
Hey,
and Sawtooth, he's a master of poison extraction. Seek his toxins. Bring some of those back as well. We have use for them.
Is there anything you could barter that would help us navigate the jungle or protect us from any specific dangers that you recall from your travels?
He's looking around. He opens up a box and he's you can hear metal on metal. And he pulls out this very crudely built metal canister and he tosses it over to Puck. Your tabaxi friend will probably be more resistant than yourselves. Slather this on your neck, on your face, and your exposed skin. It will keep the rather large insects from extracting your blood when you're not paying attention.
Oh,
Always
God.
look up and be aware of things that, well, it is a jungle. And they will do what they do to take advantage of those that travel through it.
Understood. Thank you. And I slather as much of it as possibly can because I already have very little blood in my gnome body.
Like if Puck is over there, like putting it on her neck, her face, her exposed like parts of her body.
Don't use it all at once.
I mean, yeah, it's a pretty big metal box with enough. Probably there's enough for about 10 applications, is what you figure.
You don't even know if you're allergic.
Puck turns to you with swollen lips. What do you mean? I'm fine.
I hate mosquitoes, okay? Whatever it takes.
Well, be mindful of the ones that are roughly your size, dear.
Shit.
All right, I think
right.
we have what we need. Let's go.
You ready to roll?
I'd rather walk.
Which is all. We're going to die. I'm traveling with comedians. She's literally now carrying her bow with an arrow kind of already two-finger knocked in a kind of like in a waist position. And Winter looks, are we traveling past the matron first?
Yeah. Let's go find... Yep. Wait. Which one of you knows how to get to his house?
Unfortunately, that would be Spot, I think.
Yeah. I know how to. He likes me. It's fine. We got along great.
So Spot's been there at least once, although he can't remember how he got back from there back to the village.
Mm-hmm.
He was way too high to remember. It begins to lead you guys towards the northeastern end of the dwell, and you guys pass into much more traditional jungle underlay and jungle substrata. The trees, you're getting further away from the beginnings of the coastal bluffs and the coral that's been long abandoned, and at about the 1 mile point, a familiar tree spot. The big, and I think someone else has been here as well.
Winter.
Yeah, Winter was here as well. Winter points to it, Spot points to it. And sure enough, in front of the tree, with the door open, is the matron kind of at a small little table, his little mouse folk hands working on something that he's recently kind of slaughtered in the jungle. And he's pulling it apart, and he's got blood up to his little furry elbows, looks up to see the 5 of you walking. Oh, well, hello. It's good to see ya.
I'm gonna kind of lean over to Xanthi, like that's the most vicious looking, friendly little mouse thing I've ever seen.
That is.
Oh, I'm sorry about this. Yeah, I just been working on some. Well, I collect componentry and all. You know how it works.
Yeah.
I do.
Well,
not.
you
That was
look
so good.
amazing. Fuck.
Thank you so much.
The last time I
Like-
saw you, you were dead.
I was mega dead. Thank you so much for helping me.
You're welcome. I did
And
what I could.
I take out the second archaic diamond and hand it over to him.
Where did you get that?
From the merfolk.
Oh.
You had that this whole time?
We'll talk about that later. Also, my crossbow is really badass now, but that's besides the point.
God.
Thank you so much. I'd be mega super dead in whatever capacity this island has. And I owe you a lot, so I hope this helps repay a little bit of it.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm just glad you're okay. I see your ginger friend here is still alive. He had a bit of a run-in with the jungle dryad. I don't know if he told you. Something that, you might want to, be mindful of when you're out there.
Oh, really?
Dryads
Do tell.
are They're tricksy too.
Uh-huh.
Well, I think it's his story to tell, not mine. I just like to help people that need it.
Well, would you mind if we just ask you a few more questions for your help?
I would appreciate you answered a few of my questions first. I was asking your friend here some questions, and I don't know if he's an absolute idiot, or he was just very clever at not answering them.
Probably both.
The former.
Yes, fair. What are you and your friends doing here? Why are you here?
We were sent here as part of the Wanderman Assembly, originally to explore the Shattered Teeth beyond the Veil, but things have gotten murky, as it seemed like something very strange and very concerning is afoot both on the island and as part of our mission.
See, I told you that last time. He's just a lot better at explaining things. It's fine.
Well, I understand. That's why you think you're here. You're a long way from home then, yeah?
Quite a long way. Have you always been here?
Oh, I've been here long enough to know that these gnomes are good people. I just want to make sure your intentions aren't ill for them.
I'll roll an insight check on Matron.
Okay, go for it.
Are you also in contact with the lizard people?
Oh, from time to time, I trade with them, yeah.
It's a 19.
19?
Yeah.
His honesty is transparent, but there's an underlying sense of danger that if this individual ever feels the gnomes are truly threatened, he wouldn't hesitate taking things out of the equation. This kind of simple folk act that he's using is designed to disarm potential enemies.
Have you ever sensed anything from this volcano that we're so close to?
Oh, from time to time, I focus on it when I need to go travel to Sawtooth Clan. But for some reason, my magic can't really penetrate the outer area of that place. I just assume that something's there that is powerful enough to keep me out, but I've never really traveled to it. It hasn't really bothered me or my friends until recently. Which is why I felt the need to ask you and your friends that question. And I'm aware of your aid in destroying that creature. And it's because you destroyed that creature that I felt compelled to bring your friend Puck here back from the dead.
And thank you for that. And speaking of...
Oh, you're welcome.
When I was in between realms, whatever is in the volcano reached out to me.
Reached out to you? How? How's that possible? You weren't here? You were somewhere else?
Well, wherever I was, it seemed to have cornered me in a way. Spoke to me, tried to offer me something. And I know that the person who stabbed me is very likely working with whatever it is. And
The
so...
person who stabbed you?
His name is Devon. He is not long for the world. I'm gonna kill him.
Nothing like a vengeful gnome to set things right, don't you think?
Oh, yes. Just if you see a person named Devon, tell him Puck says hi. And maybe kill him. That's okay. We'll get to it.
I'm a bit more about the fates than I am about violence, but your understanding and your anger is justified, I guess. Don't let it burn a hole in your heart, though. Be mindful of that.
I'll try, but I really want to just yeet him off the top of that mountain straight into the lava.
Okay, I think you might need some mechanical advantage there. I'm a lot taller than you, but I can help you out there. I'm
That's
just saying,
why
free offer.
That's why we're criminal friends.
Yes, that is why we are crime buddies.
I'm gonna pull out the book, the captain's log, the message book, and slip out the parchment, pop the spine, slip out the parchment. You don't by chance read Elvish, do you?
Oh, I read most languages.
I'll hand him the parchment and let him read.
Start reading it. Boy, I don't know any of these names. They don't look familiar to me at all. But if they're looking for some kind of item of power in the volcano, I can assume it's there. We know that our magics don't quite work well there.
Well, we aim to get there first. This is an old note. You know, there's the chance they've made it already, but this is an old
Who's
note.
they?
That Grimmer fellow. That
Well, I
Grimmer
would
fellow.
think if Grimmer's already met it there, we'd already know about it, don't you think?
He runs the Coppermakers Guild on the surface. He's the one forcing the miners to dig deeper and deeper, actually turning those in the underdwell into what they are in the underdwell, casting them off when they're of no use anymore. It appears on the face, he creates these machines and weapons of war and sells them, you know, to go and slaughter people elsewhere. But here on the island, he's digging deeper to the heart of the volcano. He's looking for this. The knowledge.
Well, it sounds
that
like you got a bigger problem than that, then.
The knowledge that we got from Sibo and Gribbles, though, is why we seek the lizard folk. It appears the lizard folk have been doing some sort of ritual to contain some entity on this island, and now Sibo or Caliban have reason to believe that may not be the case, or that they may not be able to protect the island currently.
Well, I wager there could be more than one set of eyes looking for it. If Grimer's looking for it, if Ludendorff sought it, I wager if all these other people were looking for it, it's possible there could be more than just one or two sets of interests.
Of
And
course.
now you have this strange Devon person tried to kill Puck here, who seems to have invoked the name of this creature in their honor when they were about to kill young Puck here. To be honest, he did kill young Puck. Did that mean something? Is that what guided your spirit to it? His killing of you?
I haven't thought of that.
Maybe that's what anchored your spirit to it. Maybe it was sent as an offering. Had I not found you when I did, I wager you'd be dead right now for sure. Your soul in their possession,
Oh, God.
being used for other purposes.
That's terrifying. Well, once again, I am eternally thankful for you for helping when you did, because that sounds like a fate much worse than death.
All this to say, Matron, any assistance that you may want to provide, or you're more than welcome to come along. Our end game is to save this island. Whatever is at the heart of that volcano, whatever curse, whatever evil, whatever thing is there, has laid its effect on this island for centuries. Our aim is to eliminate that once and for all.
Well, my understanding is Sibo's not in the dwell right now, so I'm going to keep an eye on it for her till she gets back. But I can give you something. And he kind of like goes back into his tree. He's gone for a couple moments, and he comes back out, and he's carrying a silken rope that looks of amazing quality and refinement. Might get you out of a pinch. And he tosses it over to Puck. And Puck, at first you're bracing yourself to catch this huge 50-foot like thing of rope, and as he tosses it to you, you grab it, it's light as a feather. Now, if you get in a bit of a spot, that there's a rope of climb. Don't need someone on the other end now, do you? Just invoke the invocation, and it'll be handy for sure.
Wow. Thank you. That seems like something that would be very helpful in scaling a mountain.
Oh, well, yeah, I kind of figured, that you're going that way. But, be careful. Took a lot of effort to bring you back. Don't want to have to do it again. It gets harder each time.
Oh, God. Yeah, I hope not. I plan not to.
like scruffle her hair, like, we're not gonna let that happen again.
Well, you already let it happen once.
I said again.
Gonna
I
say
understand.
of this group, I don't feel like I'm the most likely to die next.
He watches, he reaches into his tree, puts on his shoulder bag, and kind of closes the door and takes his staff. And you watch as the tree just blends in with the background. On my way to the dwell. Promised Sibo I would. Take care.
If anything strange happens, do you have a way to contact us?
I do. And now that I'm familiar with all of you, I could send a message to you when necessary.
Good. Thank you, Matron.
Well, good luck. And he just kind of starts, he's only about 18, 20 inches tall. He's like bounding over the jungle undergrowth, heading off in the direction of the dwell.
One last thing.
Yeah? What do you want?
Just a direction towards Sawtooth and his people.
I'll just follow your nose. You'll find it.
He's a human. His senses are terrible.
That's all right. It'll get better. So it's now gone from early morning to mid-morning, and the humidity is starting to set in. You're now beginning to approach the very fringes and edges of the deep, deep density of the jungle.
I'm going to look down to Buck and say, well, you've got the map.
So Buck, give me a survival check with advantage, please, since you do have the map. And the previous knowledge, and somebody's here with food. I smell it. I already ate my dinner because I knew someone was going to show up with food.
That's where the follow your nose comes from.
I
was expecting him to turn back into a toucan again and fly away.
Dookie.
Just follow your nose.
Boy, you're reaching further back to my commercial era, my friend.
Just saying. I mean, you turned him into a toucan last time too, so.
That's fair. I did. What'd you get, Puck?
22.
22. You kind of stand there for a moment with Punch kind of patiently purring by your side. You look off in the different directions, and then you pull in the memory of the map, and you got a good feel. This close to the underdwell, you figure you could use some of the hunting paths that they use to hunt locally, which will gain you enough time and distance in the general direction you want to go to. At some point, you know that the undergrowth and the challenges of the jungle will become worse as you get further and further away from the underdwell. Considering that Sawtooth and his clan live in very kind of rustic environments that are more attuned to their ecosystem of existence, they have less intent of harming the natural environment as they use it as a means of control and hunting and protection. But you begin to lead the group off in that general direction. Who would like to roll a d20?
For what?
Arthur, go for it. For the first half of your travels into the jungle.
Any modifiers? Just straight roll?
Roll straight d20.
11.
11. The journey is hot, sweaty. At some point, every 20 minutes, a rain shower just rolls by. Just douses the area, and then within moments, the sun's out. And then again, a rain shower rolls by. And the humidity now is sweltering. Everything is sweat, gummy taste of your mouth. You're drinking twice as much water as you intend to. The slog is rough. Even staying on the hunter paths as much as you can. At the end of the third hour of travel, by the time it's midday, it seems, for those that are wearing the salve, that it works. For those who didn't wear it, I need you to make Constitution saves, please.
I can give someone like +4 or advantage on a save.
I think.
I can do resistance.
Okay.
I'm gonna burn a lucky point.
Okay.
I'll give Eric resistance then. That's you can add a D4.
All right,
Who the heck is Eric?
Spot.
That was going to be my
Fourth wall crumbles.
Okay.
I got a 16.
Okay.
Marginally better.
What'd you get there, Earthen?
An 8.
Can you roll for Winter as well?
Oh yeah.
Hey,
I don't know what her modifiers are. Ouch, that was a 4.
Okay.
Whatever her modifiers are, that was a 4.
That's fair. Spot.
That was my question for you. Is you when you were bringing up the salve, you kind of
You would have advantage on this save.
okay, cool.
Yeah. Plus you have a D4 from Zenith.
Okay, so Constitution save.
Yep. With advantage and an extra D4.
Okay, give me a sec. All right. Where are you? Not great. That is like I think an 8 or 9.
So Winter, Earthen, and Spot, the constant insect bites, the slog through the humidity. The three of you will take 4 points of heat, like just general effects of the humidity and just this trudge through the jungle. I'll just call it 4 points of fire damage.
Of
from
demoralization, yeah.
Yeah. You get the feeling if this continues, you might end up taking a point of exhaustion.
Hey, Huck. You got any of that bomb?
Use it sparingly. I hand it over.
Yeah, Winter grabs it from you before you can give it to Earthen. She scoops out a big thing of it and hands it off to Earthen. She's now slathering it on her face. As you guys take this short moment to kind of do this and go over each other's like sweat and just this overwhelming, just kind of like, just this place is just too much. All 5 of you watch as this insect, this mosquito, about 3 feet long, just kind of buzz right on by and disappear up into the jungle canopy.
I hide under everyone's leg.
And with that, we're going to take our 5-minute break and we'll be right back.
Oh God! Ow, 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 ow.
are on our way back. Oops, wrong one. There it is. I jump between all my different scenes. All the fun stuff.
Ugh. Yeah, we didn't take the break last week. I had to go. I stepped out at one point.
Yeah,
I was like,
I think I just lost track of time last time. I was like I'm already surprised that it's 5:30. We started over an hour and a half ago, and I'm like, good Lord, the time just and there goes Spot's computer again. Poor guy.
I think.
I swear, when that happens, it's his cat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I believe it.
His cat likes to.
His
'Cause he
cat
comes
is doing
right
to him
back.
what he does to Errand.
Yeah.
Your cats are doing to you what you do to me.
It's not bad. I know what it is. It's when I mute myself, and it, you know how if you accidentally click off of it.
Oh, you
Control
hit
D
the wrong.
is a create a bookmark. It's me going up and trying to delete it from my bookmark bar and accidentally hitting left click.
Gotcha.
So, that's what that was.
Sure.
I mean, the cats aren't even over here anymore. They feel unwanted. But I did just post the, a picture of what I can only assume Spot looks like right now.
That's awesome.
It's a Maine Coon, so maybe a little bit, bigger than
Yeah.
Spot, but yeah.
I love it. Whew. Some static feedback on that one. That come from? Where did that come from? All right. So let me pull something up here real quick. Da, 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 da.
Spot,
And-
did you watch the video of what it would be like the two of us locked in a dumpster?
Yes. Like, which one of us is the one beatboxing?
The bard. Duh.
The bard. As you guys put on the salve, take a short break, and kind of gather up your thoughts, it starts to pour. Now it's raining hard. And you can already feel the swampiness of the ground, unable to absorb the rain. You can feel it just coming through the canopy, coming down in to the lower parts, as you're definitely in the midst of this great jungle. This, unfortunately, is going to make travel slower. You're going to be moving at half your normal speed, slogging through this environment.
I'm going to steer daggers at Earthen and just be like, this is so much better than Pirate Ghost.
I'm gonna activate my ring of fly, so that I'm not even having to walk right now.
Okay.
Just
You're
gonna
about-
hover,
You're just like a couple feet off the ground. And every time
if even that, it's more just I don't want to walk.
got like leaves slapping you in the face as you move around.
Well, if it's any consolation, I'll be the first one eaten.
Puck,
Why
give
not?
me another survival check as you begin to realize that the hunter trails and the foot trails have run out, and you're in proper jungle undergrowth.
23.
Nice.
Woo!
Today is the day. It's finally happening. I'm getting
I know,
this
right?
goal.
Looking up and around, you take the group a little bit of a sharper angle north by northeast. You begin to follow the least amount of resistance in the undergrowth of the terrain. You try to find as many high ground paths that you can, keeping them out of the wastewater. So, for the next set of this journey, what skill would everyone like to use to help this group make it through this part of the journey? Could be any skill that you want, any proficiency that you want. All you have to do is describe how you want to help this happen.
I'm gonna use perception.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception roll.
I'm glad I have a +9 perception. So that's 16 for perception.
To the best of your abilities, with Puck in the lead, I will say, Puck, your check was the survival check, which was a 22, correct?
23.
23, okay. You actually keep an eye out on things. You, at one point, warned the group of this 20-foot long anaconda snake hanging from a nearby tree, and you catch it. You see it over off to the side, and you help guide the group away from it. And you're using your constant awareness, your vigil, just to kind of keep an eye on things. Xanath, what skill would you like to use?
I'm trying to figure out how to use insight or medicine right now. So I think maybe I'll try and use insight to be watching the rest of the group, and if it seems like someone is struggling, like grab their arm to pull them up or something.
All right. Give me an insight check then.
All right. That is going to be a 14.
14? Okay. You begin to point out things that look strange. Clusters of egg sacs hanging underneath canopy trees, and you can tell that they're pulsing slightly. You watch as a very, very large jungle spider recedes up as you guys kind of walk by, steering you and the others away from it. But it's the quicksand that you find at the last moment, guiding both Puck and Winter and the rest up onto a series of higher ground walkway closer to some of the trees. But it gives you that necessary kind of like awareness of what's going on, and you're avoiding some of these more deadly locations, these pitfalls, if you would. Spot, what skill would you like to use?
I'm going to use my acrobatics. I'm going to try to find paths either through the jungle or around obstacles or
Okay, go for it. Give me an acrobatics check. And remember, the further you are from your camera, the harder it is to hear you.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
It's a 28.
Ooh, 28. Nice. Good recovery. And Earthen, think of something for Winter to use for me.
You know what her? Do you know her stats off? Like
you should be able to pull them up.
I can.
If you
only
go to
see
the
Spot.
campaign link.
Yeah, I can only see Spot on there.
Oh, she must have hers set to private.
But just whichever. I'm just going to base it on whichever her highest.
Okay. I'll pull that up in a moment.
Is. Yeah, whichever one's her highest ability score. I'm thinking it's probably strength. Maybe dexterity or constitution.
Where is oh, there it is. Let's take a look at Winter really quick. I'll be so happy when she comes back.
Yeah.
Yes, strength. I think that would be appropriate.
Okay. So yeah, I'll roll athletics for her.
Okay, go for it.
That's an 8 plus whatever her modifier is.
+4, so that'd be
12.
Actually, she's proficient in athletics, so that is +9, so that'd be
17.
Total of 17. Good recovery with her modifiers. So you guys watch as Spot from time to time leaps up to low hanging like branches and vines that he can pull himself up on, and as he pulls himself up, he can see things a little bit higher and look down into different directions. And every time Xanath points out quicksand pits, he quickly kind of gathers up vines to kind of like, just in case people need to use them, in case they slip into these pits. And he's dancing through the undergrowth as if it's not even there, and keeping very much physically aware and physically helping everyone avoid. And between Earthen's perception, Winter's strength, and Puck's survival and Xanath's insight, as a group, you do pretty well. Keep an eye on things. The rain never lets up. The canopy of gray and black clouds seems to linger this time. The light is now beginning to fade. While Puck has given you the general direction she believes Sawtooth's tribal location to be, haven't quite found it yet. But you stumble into an open grove. As you stumble into the open grove, there's an old, ruined kind of temple-like structure, and then a series of lava protruding rocks with an overhang over like the grove itself, giving it a bit of solace from the weather. Just as the last of the light dips away, the rain begins to trickle off, and the night has come.
And there's a temple here, did you say?
It's like an old ruined section of one. And it's up and beyond this kind of rock protrusion out of the ground that just has, it's almost like it's like an egress into the rock, like just enough to give you a break from the weather, a little bit of shelter. Just seems like a strange kind of natural break in the jungle.
Spot, I'm moderately stealthy now. I think between the two of us, we ought to take a look at this place before. I mean, I don't think we should leave the edge of the jungle unless we are somehow masked in our movements. But we need to look at this thing before we make any decisions.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So I think it sounds like Earth and I are going to go off and do some stealthy things.
I'm going to cast detect magic before we go, though, just in case. So I've got like a range around me if there's anything maybe firing off around here.
Okay. As you and Spot exit into the grove, Puck and Xanath, what are you doing?
Can I just sort of look at the temple best I can see it and see if I recognize anything about it? There's anything familiar?
That was what I was going to try to do myself, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you both can give me history checks. Actually, Xanath, if you want, you can give me history or religion.
Okay.
I'm going to turn to Winter and be like, just keep that thing ready. If you see anything strange, shoot it.
I got a 9.
I got a 5.
Eartha, you should be able to see Winter's character sheet now if you refresh the page.
Can I do a nature check for the temple and any natural elements around it?
Go for it.
Okay, it's a 10.
Boy, I'm still not sure that Winter's hit points are right, but
Well, I'm not seeing her. If I can look at it from a different page.
Hey, just out of curiosity, because this is something I wanted to ask you. What are Winter's hit points right now?
like 53.
Okay, because I'll deal with it next time we actually meet up. I'm going to probably give her my greater healing potion because I have a spell that will heal me for the max of that. There's no reason for one of the least squishy people to have that.
Okay. Can you see it yet, Earthen?
Nope.
Okay, probably a delay in the change. So.
Yep. Well, I can see her player profile, but I can't see her character sheet.
Oh, you should be able to click on the view of her character sheet. If you can see her link to the campaign, there should be a view section on there as well.
See, I go to view campaign. Yeah, it still only shows spots. Otherwise,
Really?
otherwise it says view user profile.
See, this is one of the things I hate about the data system that D&D Beyond uses. It's such garbage. It can't even like refresh a privacy to public moniker change on their data. Like it may not show up till tomorrow. That's how fucking crappy their data system is. It drives me nuts. So I'm an IT guy, and I know how easy it is, and they just make things so purposely hard for themselves. Ugh, it's annoying. Anyways, so
do I roll stealth as we start going towards the?
Well, you and Spot are heading towards.
We're going
the
towards
ruin.
Yeah.
Spot, between you and Xanth, what'd you roll? Because I know Spot got a 10.
I got a 9.
I got a 5. So
A 5.
Yeah.
I mean, the ruin definitely does not look familiar at all to you, and it looks really old. Like it's been here a long time. The area, for the most part, is overgrown up to a point, but that is the one strange thing. As Spot and Earthen kind of move off into the open space, you realize that nothing is growing on the rock or the remains of the ruin. Like no vines. It's almost like this place has been cared for, or someone has made sure that it hasn't overgrown.
I want to roll maybe not investigation. Yeah, I'm gonna go perception on this one again.
Okay.
Just for see if I can, or what I need to do survival. I'm just trying to see if there's any sign of something that was there that has.
That'd
been
be a
there.
survival.
We
check.
see it's been upkept. We see it's been kept up with, but
Yeah, it'd be a survival check.
Good time for a good roll. All right, that's 26.
26. As you and Spot come out of the grove, go ahead and give me stealth checks if you're being stealthy, with Puck and Xaneth and Winter kind of staying at the edge of the grove while you two check out the space.
22
That's
myself.
Okay.
dirty 20 for me.
Nice.
What'd you get, Spot?
22.
22. Okay. As the two of you creep out of the edge and into the open grove, it's the lack of evidence. If somebody truly was taking care of this site, there should be lots of evidence of people working here and doing something with the site that would leave. But it's almost as if it's been purposely kind of groomed for a ceremonial purpose.
Am I getting any detect magic dings off of anything around here?
No. And it's very dark now. Unless you have a light source, it's going to be impossible to see soon.
Including for those of us with dark vision?
With dark vision, you'll be fine. But if you don't have dark vision, you're going to struggle.
Kurt.
Well, I'm trying to get in there quick. Sorry. I'm going to pull out my lamp. It's going to kill my stealth, but I'm going to pull the lamp out.
Okay.
Just have it ready. I'm not going to light it yet, but I'll have it ready.
Okay, you have it out.
I'm going to kind of motion to him, and I'm going to try to get just outside the radius cast by his lantern so I can stay stealthy.
Dude, your cat is
Is that
so
you
funny.
grooming in the background?
Yeah, that's my cat.
He's running his claws down the sides of the monument
That's my cat failing at burying his poop in the litter box. This is not a smart boy.
So I'm gonna make while there's still some light, make my way to what looks like the entrance to the place.
Okay.
And fire up the lantern, but just kind of shining inside.
As you fire up the lantern, once you get to the edge and this opening in front of you, go ahead and give me a perception check. Because the lantern's now lit, Spot, your dark vision would be affected by that if you try to look where Earthen is. So if you wanted to preserve your dark vision, you'd want to look away from the light.
That's another dirty 20.
Okay. On the interior of this space, there's no depth to it other than maybe about 20 feet. Almost kind of like an aboriginal kind of pictograph site. There's no cave entrance directly, but you could see many different representations of carvings in the stone of lizard folk. They're hunting, or they're gathering, or they're at war, or they're practicing a ceremony. It's almost like this is somebody's ritualistic place to do offerings.
I haven't seen or detected anything around us. Like
Not so far.
Had perception all the way up here. Was looking around, not feeling any magic pings or anything like that. I'm just gonna kind of not yell, but loud enough that I think they can hear me. Just be like, this is not a place to stay inside of, but I think we can stay on the outside and be okay.
You're saying that to me and Puck.
Back to you guys, the three of you at the edge. Spot's right here; he can hear it. But yeah, I said loud, and I'll try to say it loud enough that you guys can hear me at the edge of the forest.
Spot, since your dark vision's not ruined, what Earthen can't see and you can see because you're just on the edge, closer to the kind of like ceremonial site, is kind of on stakes on wood, all on top of the rock, tucked into the nooks and crags of the rocks, and where they're fractured, you can see skulls of various humanoid descent and lineage.
I'm just gonna kind of, I'll look for Paul, just be like, motion Earthen to stop, don't come in. Can I roll an investigation just see if I see anything in the wrap?
Well, Earthen's inside the recess. You're slightly outside to avoid the light. So you're looking up top, and you can see up on top of the ceremonial pile these stakes that are jammed into the cracks and fractures of the rock that seem to have these skulls hanging from them of various humanoid form.
Earthen,
Huh?
Go in. Don't go in there. Turn your light off. Don't go in. You're scary.
Well, if I turn my light off, I can't see.
Yeah, I know that. I'm not responsible for your human limitations. There's scary stuff in there. Let me check it out without you ruining my night vision.
Well, look away then, and I'm gonna you turn left, I'll turn right, okay?
Sure.
So we're
That's
just
how people die in
I'm gonna
Scooby-Doo.
I'm gonna back up the thing, okay, come here, let's get back to back, and you go left, I'll go right, we'll get spun around, okay?
Sure, why not?
Hey, Puck looks over at Xanath. I think they're gonna die if we don't go in there.
And so we
I
start our
think we
spin.
need to back up.
While we're back to back and I have my eyes closed, whatever.
There's skulls on pikes in there. Maybe don't go in until some of us that can see in the dark have checked this out.
Well, I wasn't trying to go in. I was just shining the light in there to see what I could see. There's a bunch of cave drawings in there and sculptures. We should not stay inside this thing.
No, we should not. There's humanoid skulls on pikes in there. It's terrifying.
Some pikes in there. And I'm turn the
And then
turn
you
the lantern up to
hold the
look at the
lantern
thing.
up in the crooks and crags.
Just going intentionally going
it.
up, not at.
Yeah. You
Ah.
can see now. You can begin to see them on the edge.
Can I roll?
Xanath and Puck, anything you guys want to do?
I'm gonna go in there. I think we're
Yeah, I'm
past the
gonna go
point of
with-
stealth.
Puck's going.
So, just out of curiosity, do I see any eye shine or anything from any creatures or possibly
Not so
lizard folk?
far. No.
Okay.
Can I roll? Would it be nature or survival to try and see if I can identify any of those skulls?
Medicine. Give me a medicine check.
Medicine. Okay.
Xanath and Puck and Winter, you start to cross over the emptiness closer towards the ceremonial kind of rock pile, and everything that Earthen and Spot can see are beginning to come wavering in and out of shadows of the reflected light as well as the moonlight that's kind of cascading down here because the cloud cover is breaking apart. So the starlight and the moonlight's beginning to kind of fill the space up with a little bit of extra ambient and background light as well. And
It was a 9.
okay, it's fair. Random, hard to tell for sure. Some are human, some are other lineage or species, but no real sense of a particular kind or type.
How old are they?
On that note, you can give me a medicine check as well. That's if you can get a better understanding of
If I'm here, I'll tap Eyes of Night on Earthen and tell him to turn out his lamp.
Oh,
If you
thank
care.
God.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's a 19.
19. They are mostly gnomish skulls. Some are lizard skulls. And that's when you begin to focus on the exterior pictographs. And the exterior pictographs tend to show these very well painted and carved representatives of like these large hands with like sharp angles coming off the tips, and there's a draconic word kind of scrawled across the top as well. If anyone speaks Draconic.
Oh, wait. Lunch. I like get lunch out.
He's looking around. Where the fuck are we? It's dark. I don't. Oh.
We're in the jungle, baby.
You aware there's a word up there called the Black Fray?
The Black
It's in
Fray?
Draconic. Yeah, it's called the Black Fray.
What's that?
Do you know?
If I know. Just they're words, not meanings.
Well, do you sense anything?
Kind of. Not really. Are we here for some kind of ceremony? And he kind of flies up and looks around, and he flies up top, and as he does, he quickly flies back down. There's a lot of dead body parts up there. What are we doing here exactly? Why are we here?
We're on the way. Is this place? Do you sense anything that would make you uncomfortable other than the?
Other than it's dark, there's draconic writing, there's skulls on stakes and body parts? No, I guess not. I guess it's got to be more than that.
Fair enough. Well, if you're uncomfortable, you can return to your coin form or just.
Like before you even finish your sentence, a coin drops back into your hand.
Oh, lunch.
Well, does the word Black Fray mean anything to anyone?
Doesn't sound familiar.
It doesn't sound good, though.
Yeah.
Does not sound good.
Especially
Maybe.
with the big hand images.
These spiky hands.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just tried to roll religion and I got nothing. So nothing on that.
So it seems like this is the place where the lizard folk have been doing their rituals, right?
At least we need to kill something.
Let me see if I can use primeval awareness. On like dragon stuff.
Well, remember what was it? Sibo said that, right? We need to, or no, it wasn't Sibo. It was the guy on the junk heap. We got to kill something, and somebody's got to put the blood on their face.
You guys begin to hear drums.
Oh no!
Shit!
Where are the drums coming?
And as you hear them, you look off in the distance, and to your left are about a dozen kind of like glow of torches distant into the jungle canopy. And now you can hear drums and chanting, like a steady pageantry of people or creatures or something is beginning to approach the site.
Let's
We
go
need to
the other
Run.
side. The other side. Let's go the other side now. Like,
Should I put fog cloud to help us like hide?
I
Well, it looks
mean, it's already night, right?
cloud.
That's true.
And they have torches, so that would affect. If they have night vision, that should affect them.
Well, we
So
were going,
we're like, what are we doing? Like scrambling out and around the temple?
We need to go the whatever direction those lights are. We need to go the opposite
great
side.
shadow!
Oh,
We
fuck.
come bearing gifts. And you can hear the column getting closer, and every time this voice chants out, you can hear a cacophony of other voices in draconic language, lizard folk language, kind of offering up some sense of praise.
Okay,
I'm gonna roll
hide.
stealth again. Yeah.
I'm also rolling stealth.
Okay. Are all of you guys heading towards the edge?
Oh my god!
Of which side of the ceremonial pile are you heading towards?
I'm burning
Can
another lucky
I
point.
cast enhanceability on me and like 2 other people and help them with stealth? Is it too
Help
late?
Earthen. I definitely do not need help with stealth.
Oh, I got 24 on stealth. I should be
Okay.
okay.
You,
know what?
you can help Earthen. He
Even
seems
with
frustrated.
advantage, I rolled a 2 and a 3.
Nice.
Come on!
All right, I'm casting it on myself.
I'm burning another lucky point to roll that again. So,
That's fair.
oh, that's much better.
Oh, I did incredible. 19.
19.
Okay, that's a 21.
What'd you get, Puck?
24.
Okay.
28.
28.
Oh, I didn't roll for Winter. Ooh, that's good. Winter got an 18 plus whatever her bonuses are.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep closing that damn tab.
But I'm gonna so this is like a recess. The bones are on top, right? And this
The
is kind of like a
skulls are on
recess.
top.
The skulls are there,
Um,
but there's like more dead part.
Yeah, there were more dead forms up top, further beyond, up
Yeah.
on top of the pyre itself.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of go around and skirt the edge of the pyre, but kind of stay close enough to hear what may be going on.
I'm gonna hide amongst the bones.
Okay.
What if they light those on fire?
Yeah, I don't want to be
Why
anywhere.
would you burn bones?
They're getting closer. You guys have less than a minute
If there's a place,
before they're in the grove.
if there's a place that's like outside the temple, but you can see in, that is where I would want to be.
Okay. Zenith starts heading kind of back in the direction she came from, but slightly off at a different angle. There's a large grouping of trees and undergrowth that she immediately kind of disappears into. That gives her a pretty good vantage point of the front of the ceremonial pyre.
Are the bones from can you see what's going on from the bones, or is it too far away?
They're up on top of the pyre. You'd have to climb
Oh.
up onto the rocks to get to them.
Is there what's like the best place for me to hide from where I am?
From where you are, any of the edges of the grove, probably.
Okay, I'm running there.
You and Punch kind of. Winter falls over by where Xanath is. Spot and Earthen, where are you two heading off to?
I'm on the rocks. I'm kind of like behind off to the back of the entrance, but within earshot. So I want to be able to hear what they're talking about.
Okay, so you'll be on the opposite side.
Yep.
Spot, where do you want to be?
I'm going to try to do something similar. Like if there's an alcove, especially if it's up high where light's not going to filter in, I'm going to try to climb up there and just lay prone.
Okay. So you hide amongst the rocks of the ceremonial pyre. Earthen's behind the pyre and the edge of the jungle canopy.
I want to say Winter went with
Xanath.
Xanth. Yeah.
Yep.
Because she's got the range.
Yep. And just as you all get into your little cubbies and your little places of to hide, from the other side of the grove, a group of 12 lizard folk come walking in. The other side of the grove, another group of 12 lizard folk come walking in. And as the 24 of them begin to gather in front of the ceremonial pyre, probably the largest lizard folk you've ever seen comes walking in from a different direction. And they're carrying a medium-sized figure in their arms. This lizard folk, stands a good 8 feet tall, broad-shouldered, wearing this great kind of like blackened kind of crown of obsidian on their head. Their armor is blackened leather alligator skin, kind of carefully fashioned to their body. 2 great, huge, massive clubs with the serrated teeth rounding the edges of them on their back. And brightly painted in black and white and gray fluorescent style tattoos, this great black hand facing outward, the talons curled in such a way it's almost as if his body is the look of a hand about to close itself on its victim. And this bundle, cradled gently in its arms. It crawls up the rocks easily, throws the bundle over its shoulder, crawls up to a flat section of the rock that overlooks the grove where all the other lizard folk, either dressed in similar fashion, similar body paint, sinister looking paint on their faces, their snouts, their tails heavily adorned with bits of metal and bone of spiky protrusion, their armor carefully and cleverly attached to their bodies, all dipped in black paint of obsidian colors, wielding weapons both of range and melee, blow darts and bows and truncheons and clubs and great two-handed weapons strapped to their back. And then gradually at the fringe, Xanath, you and Winter watch as another 6 pass within feet of your hiding spot. They make no notice of you being there. Their heavy forms passing by. Puck, from your hiding spot, literally 4 more and then 5 more begin to appear in the grove, passing right by you. Earthen, another 6 passing by you. The grove is filled with about 40, now 50 of these lizard folk, as this great, personage of this greater, larger lizard stands, waits patiently with this bundle. Spot, with you being the closest, he actually climbed right by you. And as he climbed right by you, you could hear mumbled breaths of panic coming from the bundle. You hear as he crawls up past you, lays the bundle down on the flattened surface of the rock at his feet. As he stands there overlooking this assemblage of lizard folk, all festooned with the mark of the Black Hand, which now you believe might be the Black Fray. You believe you're looking at an alternate clan of lizard folk that have gathered here for some ceremonial purpose, as far as you can tell. Drums continue, their crescendo beating in the background. The sounds of chanting and the raise and pitch of many lizard folk voices lifting into the air and then evening out with each thrum and rise of the drum. The beating of the drum, its rise, its thrum. It falls low and then high. In Draconic, the lisp of their speech, the hissing of frantic voices, the frenzy beginning to build and build and build.
How large did you say this grove is?
How large?
Yeah, how big is this opening area? Or how closely grouped are we?
Not very close. It's a large grove.
Mm.
It's maybe 1,000 feet across in all aspects, all points. Enough room for a large grouping of lizard folk to be assembled in front of the ceremonial pyre for the most part.
So are they assembled in a line, or they're
just a massive motley crowd just gathered in the emptiness of the grove. And then suddenly, silence. Not a word. The chanting fades. The frantic frenzy that they were forming into begins to fade. The creature, this huge, massive lizard folk, steps up to the edge of the stone. And as he does, his huge visage looking down at the ensemble, and begins to speak in Draconic and native lizard tongue. And the speech ebbs and flows.
Okay. I'm going to cast on myself, so I'm not detect magic anymore, but I want to cast comprehend language.
Okay.
We have gathered here to deliver the feast. With our success over the other clans and the combining of our force for the Shadowed One, we grow stronger. Tonight, we march on that final holdout, the one that keeps the gates locked from our Lord's transference from his prison. He has given me great strengths, great powers. And with this final offering of a weakened family member that belongs to Sawtooth himself, final bit of power will be given to us, and we shall march to his clan. We shall render his village to dust and ash, and we will take the tome of the lawgiver from him. We will breach the gates. We will find the grasping vault. We will free our Lord, our God, and he will grant us eternity in this world and all those worlds that he seeks to take for himself. Our power is united. Our numbers will grow. And you watch as he unfurls the bundle that's heavily bound in cordage and rope, as a very young female lizard folk lies across the slab of the pedestal that he stands upon. When this blood of this youngling flows into the offering, a great shadow rift will open, and the shadow beasts will emerge and gift us the gift of war and what we need to do what must be done to make this world ours and all the things in it. Now, if anyone speaks Draconic, they would have heard all that. Earth, and you heard it all because you cast Comprehend Languages. The speech continues. It drones on, as if he's trying to raise some kind of ceremonial invocation that looks like it might take some time. His foot heavily placed on the ankle of the young lizard folk, the young female lizard folk. Across her tattered leathers that she wears, you could see the familiar description of jagged teeth running from shoulder to waist, denoting her of the Sawtooth clan. You get the feeling this ceremony may run for another 10 minutes until its conclusion. You can see the blade that's been pulled out and laid on a great alabaster stone alongside this pedestal of rock. As the 10-minute ceremony of shadow evocation begins.
So he is looking at the body, or he is
standing up on the rock.
Yeah, he's up on the rock, but he took
her form is at his feet. He's got one foot on her leg while he's chanting the ceremony and preparing the blade. You know where Spot is. Mm-hmm. Spot's maybe 30, 20 feet below where all that's happening. But Spot doesn't know the language. So other than visual inflection, he's not really sure what's going on.
Yep.
And the 50 or so lizard folk are now rapidly building into a frenzy. A blind kind of chant of just reaction to the inflection of this great lizard folk's voice.
I'm going to send a message to Earthen and say, I don't understand them. Do you have a plan? Tell me what we're doing. So you can message me back.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna message back to Xanth. I'm gonna grab the girl, and try and portal out. Can Winter or somebody knock this guy off balance? That's too many words. Only got 25 words.
Yeah, like
Hang on.
I
Only got
wasn't
25
counting,
words.
though.
Dude, I forgot about that part. I was like, oh crap. Hang on. Okay.
And
okay.
Xanath, you
It's, I'm
notice
gonna,
that
like,
Winter is
yeah.
like carefully pulling out an arrow and knocking it into her bow.
It's a sacrifice.
If you could tell Earthen, I've got a banishment arrow ready. I'll give him a minute, but that's all I can give.
It's a
And she
sacrifice.
pulls back in patience, waiting for her to be told what to do.
Yeah, it's a sacrifice. Get the big guy. I'll get the sacrifice, and we gotta run.
And I'll just message back. Winter can banish. We'll only get him for a minute. Give us the signal.
That's all the time we'll need. Go now.
Go, Winter.
The arrow. She releases the arrow. Let me roll for her really quick. That is a 28.
Oh,
The
dang.
arrow arcs and spins with true profession, slams into his shoulder. He sees it slam into his shoulder, and now he's got to make, I believe.
Is there a
Double.
saving throw for
Yeah,
banishment?
what's the save?
Yeah.
Dang.
But for a 28, probably it's automatic, right? I mean,
Yeah, you know.
yeah.
Her
Super
arcane
banish.
shot. She is going to use banishing arrow. That is an 11 for his charisma save. He needed a 12. At that moment that you see the arrow strike Spot, you don't know where it came from, but you're close enough to see the arrow strike. The look of confusion on the lizard priest's face. He looks at the arrow in his shoulder, and then he's gone.
Okay, I have no context, obviously, for any of this, but I'm not going to sit here and let a sacrifice be offered up to the dark gods. I'm going to dash out of that and try to scoop her up and like into some dark corner of this.
So, Earthen, on that moment that you gave that order to fire, what do you do?
Spot and I are running the same. We're going the same direction. We're gonna crash into each other.
Okay. You both arrive in that spot. And as you arrive in that spot, you're looking down at 50 lizard folk that are looking up at you.
Mm-hmm. So I am.
And there's confusion and muttering. And then it feels like you've got but moments to make a decision.
Yep. I'm gonna
stealthier
cast.
than you, and it's like I'm stealthier than you. I'm stronger than you, and I'm much more dexterous than you. Let me take her, distract them.
No. I can get away faster. You get out of here.
All right. Oh yeah.
Like I'm gonna
right.
cast Dimension Door.
She doesn't know you're a friend. She doesn't know to be willing.
Yep.
She's terrified.
Hey, we're. So.
You try to give me persuasion.
Yep. Hang on. I got to think of what I'm gonna say.
What do you want to do? You can see Earthen and Spot up on the top of the mantle of the area where the sacrifice was taking place. You heard more than saw something come out of where Xanath and Winter were. Punches nudging you. Like the frenzy of the crowd in front of the ceremonial pyre is getting worse. You watch as blowguns coming up, arrows getting knocked, about to range in the direction of both Earthen and Spot.
All right, I got an idea, Earthen, before you do anything.
Hold on, Puck, what are you doing?
She's
the only one that hasn't reacted yet.
Okay.
Can I cast Fog Cloud at the 3rd level, which means it's for about 60 feet?
Ooh, I love it. As Earthen and Spot, as you're getting ready to try to do something, suddenly in the midst of the collection of these lizard folk, there's an explosion of air and kind of like a fog, and then it starts billowing out and up as this just dense gray fog is filling up the space, blinding and confusing the crowd, all gathered up. Some on the edges let go their bows. Earthen, give me dex save. Spot, give me dex save, please.
Ooh, yeah, I get advantage. All right, first one's a 26.
Ooh, I will take that.
The arrows and darts like
25.
pelt the rock around you, pelt the rock around Earthen as well. What'd you get for your persuasion, Earthen?
I haven't even rolled it yet.
Okay, go for it. Spot.
Yep.
What were you gonna do?
I was going to just like kind of hold up her fingers, like just try to like shush
27.
both of them.
Okay.
This probably isn't necessary, but extend one of my claws and just kind of pierce one of my palms really lightly and just smash into Earthen's face to like create a print on it.
Ooh, I like that. As you do that, her eyes widen with almost kind of like a recognition of what you did, and her body goes slack. She recognizes what you might be trying to do, and she just nods her head like this.
Okay.
You watch as Earthen grabs her. For those of you looking up at the rock, there's an arcane streak of energy that explodes, and Earthen is no longer there, and neither is she. Just Spot sneaking away from the edge of the ceremonial pyre. Spot, give me a stealth check, please.
Okay, stealth check. Oh,
Zenith,
sorry, that was
what do you want to do?
Sorry, I rolled for somebody to get a check.
I would love to throw some thaumaturgy T-Rex noises in the direction we're not running.
Ooh, give me intimidation with advantage.
All right.
What'd you get, Spot?
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I think it looks like a 22.
32?
22.
22? Okay.
That is a 16 on intimidation.
16. They are in a fog, so that's going to be with a disadvantage. Okay, so all of you here off in the far corner of the grove deep into the jungle, this T-Rex roar, bellowing out very loudly. The entire crowd is both blind and panicky as they're confused with where their priest went, they're confused with what just happened, and they're now scattering in dozens of different directions, unsure of what just happened. They go running right past you, Puck. There's a dozen of them running towards you, Zenith, but they don't see you as they kind of run past you in Winter. And they scatter in all directions. As they scatter, Earthen, you reappear. Where would you like to reappear at?
The plan was to reappear far enough into the jungle that they wouldn't see the arcane flash.
Okay. You're not exactly sure where that space is.
Right, but my distance on this is
500 feet.
500 feet, yeah.
Yeah. So 500 feet deep into the jungle, you and this female lizard folk appear. No one else is around you. Mm-hmm. Off in the distance, you thought you heard a T-Rex growl, and then panicked, yelling and shouting in familiar lizard folk and draconic language. Zenith, no sign of Earthen, no sign of Spot. You think Puck is somewhere off to your left, but you're not sure. Right now, it's just you and Winter hunkered down as panic is kind of overtaking. And then suddenly on top of the ceremonial pyre, you watch as the priest returns. Stop! Quit your running! And he yells and bellows out into the crowd, and they're beginning to calm down and slow down. They're beginning to realize that something else is going on. Torches are lit. Find them! Somebody has taken our prize. We cannot summon the shadow creature without that prize. Find them! Find her! Bring me the heads, but capture her alive! You don't hear any of that, Earthen, because you're not quite close enough
to
hear it.
Would I even hear the noise? Like just the...
Not really.
Like shouting. I wouldn't know what
you
they
hear
said.
distant shouting that's not
imperceptible.
contextually audible. Yeah, it's not perceptible.
Right.
It's just shouting.
Yeah.
But you recognize the tonality. The priest is back. Zenith, Winter places her hand on your shoulder. What do we do? Do we run? Or do we skulk?
I think that we...
Off to your right, 4 lizard folk prodding at bushes, looking. Off to your left, another 3 poking and prodding into the undergrowth. Their torches held high, trying to see if they can see anything. They're within about 60 feet of you and Winter at this point. She flattens on the ground. Give me stealth checks. I'll roll for Winter.
You've still got enhanced ability. All right. That's a 19 for me. The other one was a nat 1.
That's a 9 for Winter. She is going to use Lucky. She's going to re-roll that for a 15. Did I roll the right? Yeah, that's the right one. For 15. As the two groups of lizard folk converge, they both pass by. One going one direction, another one going another direction. Puck, there's at least 7 of them around where you're hiding. Give me a fresh stealth check. You see their torches, their spears poking in to the undergrowth. Spot, you're in the middle, and they're surrounding the stone ceremony pile completely. There's no easy way out of the ceremony pile without running in to lizard folk. Puck, what'd you get?
14.
14? You see a group of about 5 get within 10 feet of your hiding spot. You've watched as a spear hits the ground right in front of you and then out again. You watch as a torch comes in. You can see yellow greenish eyes peering and then shrugging its shoulder, and then you just and then they disperse and go in different directions.
Okay, I'm ready on deck to do Long Strider. On the second level.
Okay. Which direction would you like to try to go in? Right now, the group is fractured all over the place. Earthen somewhere, Spots up on the ceremonial pile, surrounded by at least 20 or 30 lizard folk that don't know he's there. Xanath and Winter over in a different area of the grove, opposite end of the grove. You and Punch hiding in your little hidey spot.
Can I do a nature check?
Sure. How exactly are you nature checking? What's your intent?
My intent is to find the safest way out of this.
Nature or survival, your choice.
I just did nature and I got 23, so
Nice. Using your natural understanding of terrain like this, you know that undergrowth grows very strangely in jungle environments. Earth is up and down and kind of rolling more than it is even like out on the plains and more consistent terrain. And with your small form, you see a steady path that you could crawl through underneath the undergrowth, doing your best to avoid the lizard folk that are but unfortunately Punch is with you. And he'd have to belly crawl right alongside you for the two of you to get out of this spot and try to get deeper into the jungle growth away from where they're searching.
Is there a way that would be more accommodating for a tiger?
Hard to tell right now.
Then I just try to cover us and to go as deep under as both of us can and wait.
Okay. Punch begins to belly crawl alongside of you. The two of you give me fresh stealth checks as you move away from the busy location of the lizard folk. Spot, what are you doing? You're in the dark shadows of the center pyre, where all the stonework and the old abandoned ruins are. Right. Swarming all around with torches, fanning out in every direction. Lizard folk, with the priest still on the rock, commanding orders. You begin to hear him chant the beginnings of a spell.
How far away is the priest?
He's about 25 feet away from you. Right. On the rounded exterior of the overhang that he's standing on.
Right. Can I know I can't understand him, but can I see him?
Barely.
All right.
You poke your head around and you can see him about 20 feet off to your right.
Okay. Because I'm going to do something stupid, but
very spotty.
Yeah, very spotty. I'm surrounded by lizard folk, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use Misty Step. I'm going to appear 10 feet above the shaman, and I'm going to try to knock him, to grapple him, and just do whatever I can do it.
All right, you, Puck, what did you and Punch get for stealth?
I got 24. I'm not sure how to roll for Punch.
D20 and add his dex modifier. And he has advantage because of pack tactics.
Ooh, what's his dex modifier?
Do you have your pet tab available?
I don't know if I have one.
Let me go to TetraCube and I will pull up the tiger stats. Definitely want to look into that because it'll make it easier.
Yeah, sorry, I think I don't
Off to the right, there should be a companion tab, and it should allow you to add tiger. +2. But he's proficient in stealth, so he gets a +6.
+6.
Yep.
Sorry, and it was a D20?
Okay.
Uh,
Two of you are just beginning to inch forward and in the darkness away from the lizard folk. Xanath, you and Winter are hunkered down, looking up at the ceremonial pyre, and you watch as Spot immediately appears in midair and drops down onto the shoulders of the priest. Spot, athletics or acrobatics, your choice. And this would be a surprise round for you. You're mute.
Definitely acrobatics.
Okay,
So,
go
give me
for
a
it.
sec here.
He's going to use athletics.
I got 24.
Yeah, that's only going to be a 16. So you land on his shoulders at an angled push. He goes stumbling forward 10 feet, and as you land on the stone, he tumbles off the front of the stone, falls 25 feet to the ground, and you hear this crumpling whoof sound. You take a quick peek over. He's face down on the ground, and he's beginning to shake his head, and he's pushing himself up off the ground, and he stumbles a bit. You have a moment here. What would you like to do next?
I mean, it's a bad idea, and I know it, but I'm going to sneak attack him. That's going to piss me off pretty good.
As you're on the edge, you look over. There's a dozen lizard folk heading towards him.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm real stealthy, but I don't think I can.
They look up and see you. They bring blow guns up and give me a dex save as about a dozen darts are arcing towards you.
Okay. First one's a 20. If that doesn't get, I do have advantage on that, so let me try again. Oh, 26.
They pelt around the rock. Your right, your left. What else are you doing? They're getting closer to the priest.
I don't think I have anything that I can really. Let me see something.
Are you still attacking them?
How close are they?
They're within 60 feet of him.
Okay. So, and there's
they're
no
dashing.
other. Okay. I don't know. I still feel like I'm going to dive on top of him with a sneak attack. Because
give me an attack roll with advantage as you jump off the edge and down on top of him.
Attack roll with advantage.
You're fucking crazy.
I think it was a 27.
27 will hit. You land. What are you using as your weapon?
Quicksilver claws.
Okay. They drive into his rib cage. Go ahead and roll for damage. Include sneak attack.
Okay. Where's sneak attack damage on there? So that was base was 13, and let's roll that 1d6. Oh, only 1. So I did 14 damage to him.
So as you stick into his into his ribs, he yells in pain, but he grabs onto your wrist and begins to do an incantation. You feel flames forming around your wrist as his hands burst into flames. Give me a dex save, please.
Okay. Not that one. 21.
21. You managed to avoid. Do you want to use a reaction for evasion? You have that? Are you high enough rogue?
Let me take a look.
Because if you're not, it's only going to be half damage. Oh, that's right. He's only one level rogue, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm only one level in rogue.
Okay. So you feel the burning hands almost take full effect, but you manage to pull your wrist away fast enough as you take half of 31 points of fire damage. So you take 15 points of fire damage. But because you move fast enough, you quickly bat out your fur, and you're no longer on fire. He is prone as you kind of stand over him, and you can see a dozen lizard folk running towards you. They're now 30 feet away. Earthen, what are you doing?
I'm starting to try to explain the situation to the startled and formerly incapacitated lizard folk.
Would you like to take off her mouth gag and bindings?
Yeah, like I'm like pulling the bindings off. Pull the binding off. It's
Thank you.
So I'm
Thank
saying,
you.
we're friends of the Sawtooth.
I've never heard of you before.
You haven't. We came from the Underdwell with the gnomes that live down here, the friendly
let us
gnomes,
go.
the ones that protect
As
you.
she begins to sprint in like an easterly direction.
Yeah, and she knows the plan already, right?
Who?
I mean, she knows the Sawtooth girl heard everything the guy said. Like she was awake for all that. So
she heard.
yeah.
She was part of the ceremony. Yeah.
She's
gone. She's sprinting off to the east.
Warn your people. I have to help my friends.
Come on. Come on.
I can't. I have to help.
She just shrugs and disappears into the undergrowth. You lose sight of her.
Yep.
And now you can hear fighting.
So I'm going to move in the direction of the fighting.
As you do, a dozen torches are spread out in front of you in the undergrowth.
Let's see, a dozen. Okay, let's do. I'm gonna cast. Let's see. Let's go for. I'm gonna cast Charm Person at 3rd level. So that's gonna give me 3 people I can charm.
Okay,
so
that you can see, correct?
Yeah, I'm. Can I go by? Would torchlight be considered seeing them?
I think that'd be okay.
Because I'm gonna charm towards the torches.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna hit like the 3 peripheral torches on one side.
Okay. They stop. They don't move.
And I'm gonna like insinuate them that something is over there. They need to call out and chase after it, like away from me, away from the direction of the fighting that I hear.
The 3 of them begin yelling, warning, and Draconic about she's getting away, she's getting away. They go off in that direction that you charm them to go towards. The other 9 torches begin to follow them and begin to clear the path directly in front of you.
So I'm going to go to circle around them and head and continue.
Give me a stealth check. Are you moving fast or slow?
I'm going to click my boots and use my fast boots. I forgot what they're called.
Boots of speed?
Yeah. Hang on, where are they? Yeah, boots of speed. So
okay.
So
that'll be stealth with disadvantage because of how fast you're moving.
Okay. Well, but I have advantage because of my clothes, so it would be just
it'd be a regular stealth check.
A straight roll. Yeah.
Yep.
Ouch. Yeah, that's a 10.
As you get through the first picket line of lizard folk that you distracted, you can now see partially into the grove. And there you can see Spot near a prone large lizard folk on the ground, being assaulted by a group of others. But as you stand there and look to your left, you can see another dozen coming towards you. And they've spotted you. And arrows begin to arc towards you. Give me a dex save, please.
Yep. Huh, nat 20.
Nice.
So that's a 26.
You quickly just dodge behind a tree and all the arrows pincushion the tree. Just
Almost
then
lost
you
my
watch
dice off the
as
table.
Winter stands up at the edge of the grove. She pulls her arrow back. Winter looks down at you, Zenith. I see Earthen across the grove there. Go get ready to run. I hope this works. And she lets go of the arrow. It arcs, lands in the middle of the group of lizard folk about to rush Spot. And when the arrow arcs open, these grasping vines begin to swirl through the air, crash into the ground, and these vines begin to grasp up around ankles, legs of the lizard folk that are drawn down to the ground. Winter just yells at you, Spot, run! And Winter's now running across the grove to where she saw Earthen. What are you doing, Xanath?
Yeah, I'll follow her if she's running.
Okay. Puck, as you're crawling away from everything, off to your right, about 100 feet, you can see Earthen. And he just dodged a dozen arrows. You heard Winter's voice scream out as she yells, "Run!" And within moments, you see Xanath and Winter appear behind the tree. Xanath, give me a dex save really quick, if you would.
All right. 20. Or not nat 20.
20.
20.
You and Winter arrive in the tree just in time as another dozen arrows like pelt into the tree and into the ground around you. Earthen, you, Winter, and Xanath are together. Spot, currently the priest is getting up. Most of the lizard folk that came rushing are held in place by the grasping vines. And you just watched as Winter and Xanath went running. And they were yelling, "Run!" And when you heard Winter yell, "Run!" as she's running across the grove.
All right. I'm going to deliver just a parting kick just to his neck or face, just something to keep him on the ground.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use feline agility to just dash. So give me a minute to roll attack on that.
Okay, go for it. You have advantage because he is prone.
Okay, it's 27. So.
Yeah, you just before you side and do a flurry kick up into his chest as he tries to get up, knocking him back down. Go ahead and roll for damage.
That is 7 damage.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my feline agility, and I'm going to run as far as I possibly can.
You start running, and just as you get to the edge of the grove, there's about a dozen or more lizard folk coming out of the edge back into the grove as more arrows come arcing out and in the direction that you're running. Give me another dex save, please.
Is he running towards us?
Yes.
Okay. How tightly grouped are the ones that are shooting at him right now?
They're spread all out as if they're coming back.
Oh, my advantage on dex saves finally failed me. That was a 13.
13. You take 18 points.
I can see him, right?
You can see him.
Oh,
Okay.
Wait,
I'm gonna cast Cutting Words.
hang on,
Okay.
before you do that, I want to see
okay.
if I can do something.
Try to grab the missiles.
Yeah, I do have deflect missiles. So. All right, so yeah, I can do a deflect missile. I think that costs a key point.
Yep.
All right, so yeah, let's try that.
How many? Go ahead.
It's 1d10 plus 13 is what I reduce it by.
Okay, so go ahead and roll 1d10. Add the modifier. Deduct your key point.
That is 15.
15. They
Yeah,
would have
it's
done.
fixed.
They would have done 15 points of piercing damage. As he's running towards you, Earthen, and you're about to help him, you watch as he begins to bat arrows out of the air. He's just reaching out and batting them away, like 6 arrows go spitting off just as he arrives at the tree.
Oh, hang on. I'm just reading this. It's reduced as it doesn't actually cost a key point to deflect it, but I can spend a key point if I deflect it to
throw it back.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I reduced it to 0, so I might as well because I'll get that key point back.
And as he's running, he's tossing arrows back in the direction that they came from. And then skids to a halt. Xanath, Winter, Earthen, and Spot are back together again. Puck, you and Punch are in the undergrowth about 100 feet off to their left.
I cast Longstrider on Punch and just run as fast as I can in their direction.
Okay. Coming out of the shadows, Punch and Puck come racing towards you. You're grouped together. There's confusion, but you can hear the priest's voice trying to get everyone back under control again.
Back this way, and I'm gonna signal everybody to follow and head back the general direction that the Sawtooth Girl ran in. Well, back to where we were, and then the direction she took off in.
Give me a survival check.
Yep.
As you trace back to where you were.
Not terrible. That's a 20, dirty 20. So
nice. All of you now are racing in that direction. The humidity's still bad at night. And you can hear the signs of dozens and dozens of lizard folk behind you. Maybe 200-300 feet as you're racing blindly following Earthen through this path, through undergrowth, tearing at trees and boughs. Everybody give me stealth check with disadvantage because of how fast you're running. Earthen, you could do a regular one.
Yep.
I'm gonna do it flat as well because I have enhance ability.
Okay.
I love my stuff is stupid. With disadvantage, it's 19.
13.
I got a 12.
13.
What'd you get, Spot?
19.
19. And Winter got an 11. So, as a group, you're making a pretty good chunk of noise. They are in pursuit. They have an idea of the direction you've gone. And the torches are beginning to converge behind you. Some are going far right, some are going far left. And at some point, you hear a whistling sound. This explosion of arcane light up in the air, lighting up everything in shadow and kind of like fractured lighting. And then you can hear Draconic, over there, over there. And you can see the torches beginning to converge on your spot.
Well, I've still got.
Yep, you can hear them.
Operating language, yeah. So
They've gone from 300 feet behind to about 200 feet behind. And every now and then an arrow, a blow dart, sticking into the side of trees. You guys are running full tilt.
I can, if we want to, I can grab, I think, Puck and just fly straight up because it's dark. If we want to get above the trees, but I don't know what other people will do.
Oh, I mean, I can also use lunge to get up. So if you need to catch, to hold someone else.
Yeah, I'm what is my strength? I got +1 strength.
Oh.
I can grab someone.
Also the tiger.
With my acrobatics, I should be fine.
We're just like, what are we doing? She's running. What are we doing?
I'm gonna try and fly up and then start casting illusions around, like illusory noise of like whispers and shouts and or like twigs breaking and things.
Lunch comes into existence, grabs onto Puck's shoulders, starts taking her up into the tree canopy. Punch finds a nearby tree and starts climbing up the tree. Winter's like looking. Eartha, you're up and you're casting illusions out into the area. Xanath, what are you doing? Winter doesn't seem to have a place to go.
Yeah, let me see if I can grab Winter and we're going up.
We're underneath the armpits. And
Yeah.
Give me
The glass elevator.
give me a strength check.
Okay. Oh, that's a nat 1. Or a 2.
As you grab onto her, she goes, "Do better," and she like smacks you like right in the thigh. She's gonna give you one of her lucky points, so you can go ahead and roll again.
All right.
You only got 2 of those left.
It's a 13.
13. Put the DC at a 10. So you're able to. It's hard. It's slow going, but you look over to another tree where Spot is currently scaling a tree with absolutely no problem. He's like almost free running up the side of it and up into the canopy. Earthen, go ahead and give me a deception check, please.
All right, that's 24.
Just like you did back in the North End, you're bombing distractions. You're bombing illusions. Everybody give me fresh stealth checks with advantage because of the illusionary condition and hiding up above in the canopy of the jungle.
16. That's my words, wasn't it?
24.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay.
25.
How we all beat the cat this time?
I know, right?
Hey, to be fair, I have advantage normally, so sooner or later I'm going to get some really crappy rolls.
Ooh, that is a 25 for Winter.
Ooh.
She rolls a natural 20. All of you hold your breath. The last of your illusions cast out, Earth, and you watch as the torches begin to scatter in different directions. And in the main clearing where you were, the priest strolls in. About a dozen other lizard folk stroll in with him. And then you watch as he reaches into something, pulls out a small object and throws it on the ground. And there's a small arcane of bursting light. And you watch as this large lizard-like creature comes into existence. It's got a saddle on its back as he summons his steed. And he crawls up on his steed.
You stay here. Continue to look. I will go check on the group to the left. Do not kill her if you see her. Kill the others. Clearly she had help. Somebody must have been following us. Gather at our meeting point down by the swamp. If you do not find her, meet us there. If you do, bring her back to the ceremonial pyre and we'll come back to you. Do you understand?
And the dozen or so lizard folk just nod their heads, and he goes galloping off in the huge lizard that he's riding on back of, off in the opposite direction. And for the next few moments, these lizard folk are checking the immediate area.
So
Around.
With that
They look
500-foot head start, is she likely to get caught at all?
No, you feel like she's not only is she in her natural environment, like
Yeah.
she knows where she is. You
Right.
don't know where you are.
Well, plus she had a 500-foot head start for all those
Yeah,
other lizards.
you
It's
don't-
more like I'm more concerned about the other lizards catching her. So with a
Yeah, as
500-foot
long as
head
you can
start,
tell,
she's
she's
yeah.
probably not under threat.
Okay, good.
She's probably okay. But then, as they search and look, it's 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, and you hear a whistling sound. Two of the lizards at the base of the tree that Xanath and Winter are tucked in the canopy just drop with arrows and darts sticking out of their head and necks. Drop to the ground. Spears. More lizards drop. Before long, 10 of them drop to the ground, either dying or dead, as the last two go running off in the direction that their leader had gone 10 or 20 minutes ago. Then out of the darkened edge of the jungle, 24 lizard folk with great blue tattoos across their chest and waist. And then you hear the familiar female lizard folk.
I'm sure they're here. At least one of them was. He helped me, Father.
And then strolling behind her, this huge lizard folk, this massive lizard folk, taller than even the priest, comes out of the shadows.
You go look for them there. You over there.
And that's where we're going to finish tonight, as it's almost 7 o'clock.
Great.
That was fun. That was Spot. I
So
can't
dramatic.
believe you did that. That was so close. I was like, okay, what would Winter do? She would definitely. She did the banish. That felt like she'd do that. She'd definitely do the entanglement. So I gave the entanglement a little flavor for the theater of the mind aspect of it, and I was like, oh my god, thank God she hit.
I was trying to, like, that's my whole point of asking how close they are. I was going to throw out hypnotic pattern if I had to, just be like,
Yeah,
are they
Just
getting
crack
close?
them.
Because I want to.
that was so cool.
I was trusting a lot in my stealth and sleight of hand because it was very much going to be kind of a like if how close are they? Because he's my main concern. I can keep him down, and then I have a pretty good chance of getting the hell out of Dodge.
That was so awesome. Thanks everybody for coming out and hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Frostfire TV, for the raid and the follow. That was awesome of you. Other than that, we are off next week. We're on break.
Yep.
We will be back. Are we good for the 12th? Sunday the 12th. I believe. Is that not Valentine's Day?
Yeah, it's about the weekend of, yeah.
The weekend of. So I don't have anything planned as far as I know. So I plan on gaming. So if everyone else is good with their plans, because I know you guys are on a later time schedule anyway, so it's probably more accommodating. But we will plan on meeting here the 12th. Other than that, thanks everybody for coming out. We really appreciate you. Stay safe, be kind, play a game. It's good for your mental health. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.